video?
No, I just want a video just to clap, but we don't need to. It'll be fine.
I was gonna say because my webcam I moved to my work computer. Like I can get it, but
it's still pretty easy to match up everything because you still have some spikes.
I could these days. I could probably just match it based on the rest of the talking alone, and
we're not gonna do clap sync. We're gonna do scream sync.
Yeah, because this isn't Go Bicker. This is Stuck on the Internet, and that's how we do things at this company, at this big internet company.
No, this is real internet company. We're gonna make it work this time.
Yeah. God damn it.
You can't say that. You can't say God damn it this early. You can't say it this early. We have to appease the algorithm this time.
Hey,
we have to do
I've heard this one before.
Yeah, God didn't damn it. He flooded it. It was in the Bible.
Yeah, learn to read.
We just gotta get like 10 minutes in, and then you can say whatever you want.
Listen, I want to open up this new era of our internet careers with a prayer.
Okay, let's join hands.
I don't
and
actually.
And
No, what I was gonna,
patris Espiritu Sanctus.
Don't speak with your tongues and whatnot. What I want to say is, I think it's embarrassing to tell people that you're doing a podcast. I've been doing podcasts online unsuccessfully for so many years now.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'll be in public at a cafe, 'cause that's where I record one of my podcasts. Not in the cafe, in the studio under the cafe. But anyway, listen up, everyone. It's not listen up, but come on, we're gonna go do a podcast, and it's like stop saying it so loud. There are customers in here. I don't want them to see me.
Don't say the P word. No, I agree, because it's one of those things I thought, because this time we are going to try and take this as seriously as possible and make this thing successful. And I was thinking the other day, it's like if God forbid somehow 2 or 3 years from now this thing blows up and we're able to do this full time, which would be awesome. But I don't know how to explain to people at my real big boy job I'm quitting to do podcasts full time.
I think the unfortunate thing is you tell them just that.
No, what you do is you say, I'm quitting to do OnlyFans, guys, because that's less embarrassing.
I'm going to go online and I'm going to make content that people are going to pay to watch.
Hardcore feet pick now, guys.
No one would believe it if I said that. They said, oh yeah, people are going to pay you.
Someone somewhere wants to look at these hairy hobbit feet. Internet.
Go to harryhobbitfeet.com and you'll see it.
Stuckontheinternet.com/hobbitfeet. $5 a month. I'll send you as many pictures of my feet as you want.
We've already found all of the people who are going to be attracted to our hobbit feet, and we've married them. Well, I haven't married them, but
2/3 of us have married people who are into hobbit feet.
Yeah, and that's it. So fucking behave, boys, because we ain't getting another chance.
Yeah, but like that's one of the things. It's funny. I remember, I think I said it on one of the Go Bicker podcasts. I don't know which one. That was like back when I was single. I was like, I know I will have found the one when I can show them Go Bicker content.
Oh,
and it's extremely wild to me to think that someone married me knowing that I'm a podcaster and a YouTuber. Yeah,
I was there to see the beginning of that relationship, and then it developed, and then you guys were married, and it's like, and
we're married. We own a house.
Go Bicker started and ended during that.
Go Bicker encompassed such. I don't know if you guys feel this way. For me, it encompassed such a weird time in my life.
Oh, the most
because
weird,
it was like, because it was like it started right around the time I got out of college, and it ended. "Quote unquote" ended. I don't think it ever really ended until now, truly.
Yeah.
But it tapered off like right around the time I was getting married. And that's just such a weird time in your life that it was encompassed and entirely recorded in podcasts.
Yeah, no, it's interesting to have like literally the worst time of my whole life on a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Is that why Go Bicker ended? Was because you were getting married and you didn't want to spend the money to send us wedding invites?
I think Go Bicker ended for a menagerie of reasons.
Chris, I don't think you should have let your marriage ruin Go Bicker, because if you recall, we didn't let Kitt's marriage ruin BGN. We had a bachelor party.
I always forget that we had a bachelor party on BGN.
I'd like to really pointedly say we had a bachelor party in Minecraft. on our server.
And that was the best bachelor party I had, too.
This 5 minutes or however many in, this reaches us to a very fun point in the podcast for a brand new YouTube channel for a brand new podcast. Who the hell are these people that you're listening to right now? Who are we?
Good morning and good night.
Because I'm sure someone somewhere, Spotify or Apple Podcasts or even the YouTube algorithm has kicked this up, and there's like a 1 in a million chance someone's made it this far in. Who are we?
Yeah.
Who are these people that you're listening to?
Oh, so we're not doing the intro yet?
No, so I think, Kitt, you stumbled into it. No, you didn't stumble into it. You've been doing that for years, but that's the intro. Yeah, you did it. Do it again.
I did the thing. Now what am I doing again? Are we recording?
And
What do I do with my hands? I'm scared. I'm nervous.
Jazz hands and go.
Good morning and good night.
Good morning, good night.
Now,
Yeah, it's probably going to cut out for you, isn't it?
It cut a little bit. It's okay. What I wonder is, do we start with good and all that morning, and then end with good night, or do you say the whole show at once?
I feel like we should say the whole show at once.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
We end the show. We say all right and good night, and then we end it.
That's a good idea. I like that. So hard cut.
Hard cut.
So anyway, I'm Chris.
I'm Terry.
And I'm Kitt.
See, that was the right order. Did you feel that?
Oh, me last? Oh.
And then the enthusiastic, and I'm Kitt. Like that was good.
Yeah, it was just like one of those old TV shows that you used to watch.
Yeah,
it's Chris and Terry, and I'm Kitt.
Anyway, here's Kitt.
And he's here too, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
No good throuple exists without a third.
That's by definition what the throuple is.
That's the bare
Can't
minimum.
have a fourth either, though. It has to be 3.
It's like a Sith. There can never be more than 3 in a throuple.
I'm really glad we're getting the important conversations out of the way.
So we are, for those who might not know, as has been noted several times so far, we have been around. We've been kind of stuck on the internet for a while now.
Wait.
That's the name of the thing.
That's the name of the website and the Reddit and the Instagram and the Twitter. I won't call it.
You just did though. You just called it X by saying you weren't gonna.
Oh God, Elon's gonna come and just
gross.
Ugh.
Well, what I would do is I would just call it Twitter and ignore the fact that there was ever a name change.
I'm just gonna call it. You can. Hey, Terry, in post, please bleep out where I said, and then bleep that out again. Then bleep that one out. Because we're only going to talk about Twitter.
Did you hear me knock over my water bottle just now? I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, we've all been doing internet content for a very long time, in one form or another.
I think on the ground.
I think.
What?
Christ.
Not like an animal, just like the cracker.
Oh, I thought like you knocked over.
Like,
you're like, I just keep my goldfish.
Do you want to go repair your aquarium before we continue doing this podcast? Is that
if we could just take a second to do some aquarium repair, that would be great.
Yeah, let me just go get some flex tape real quick.
Thank you.
But yeah, we've independently done YouTube. We've very dependently done YouTube for a long time. We were under a title known as Go Bicker. That's dead now. We've killed it.
I spit on you.
We're done. Go Bicker is no more. It's over. It's done. Yeah, and now we're stuck on the internet. We are the 3 members of Stuck on the Internet, the most real fake internet company on the internet.
Not really, but kinda.
No, bleep that out. Bleep that out. We can't talk about that.
It's copyrighted.
It's copyrighted. We lost that IP when Warner Brothers shut us down.
We are not Rooster Teeth, but we sure wish we were.
We're not Rooster Teeth, but by God, we're going to pull as much shit out of that casket as we can.
Yeah, we are looting that corpse as we speak. we stole their intro. Well, at least one of their, I don't know. They're not one anymore. It's hard to... So sad.
We're not Rooster Teeth, but we could be.
We could be because Rooster Teeth is fucking dead, and it's the saddest thing.
For the intro for this, at the start of all their like podcasts on Spotify, is a dude that goes, "This is a Rooster Teeth production," and we should steal that. And when it goes to say Rooster Teeth, just bleep it out, and then have Stuck on the Internet.
We are stuck on the internet, and we're stuck on the internet. It works.
We're stuck. We're stuck. We're stuck. We're stuck. Like a glue trap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My other co-host, of my other podcast, Jason Wuso of the Wuso's podcast. I mentioned the new name to him, and he's like, it's good because it's also like things on the internet are like stuck there like forever too. Like, and it's like that, that's also another little.
I am honestly very surprised and very glad that Stuck on the Internet is really not a taken name. Like when
I'm surprised it's not. It's really good.
Like I was surprised we got the domain. I'm glad we got the domain. But like when I was registering, I think the Twitter, the reason I couldn't get Stuck on the Internet for that is because it was too long. So I did Stuck on the Internet, and then I think Instagram and Reddit were the only ones that was actually taken on, and neither of those accounts were active.
Cool.
I'm still kind of tempted to try and message him and be like, hey.
I mean, early days,
Like,
might as well, right?
We'll delete this section if I get a hold of those accounts. But yeah, it's we own the Stuck on the Internet brand, which is really neat and very surprising. This is going to be kind of we're going to do a couple podcasts. This is the very first production that's going out. It's the very second production that's been recorded.
Which is
we
baffling.
snuck one in. We snuck one in on Terry. Me and Kitt couldn't let. We had to make a contingency plan, and I'm also gonna film. I'm gonna do something one off with Terry. That way, I've got one off from both. And if either of you quit, I can just edit you out of all the old content.
See, yeah, that was always my plan with Go Bickers. I'll just do everything, and you guys don't even have to show up. It's okay that you cancel last second every fucking week.
So does that mean that me and Terry should do a podcast together?
Yeah, we're all gonna do like one-on-one podcasts. That way, if somebody quits or gets canceled, we can just cut them out and act like it will never acknowledge the other person in these shows.
It sounds actually like we're gonna overcomplicate things by really weaving each other into every show.
Oh yeah,
we're connected together even more than we would.
We're gonna make this so complicated.
This is an intricate tapestry of personalities that if any of you do anything wrong, we are fucked. Okay, you behave.
We're trying so hard to make sure that we can just drop anybody at a moment's notice. I got buttons on my desk. I just press it and explosion.
I've got an eject button.
I've got eject buttons.
You know that bit in Batman Forever when Val Kilmer goes into his office and he's Bruce Wayne, of course, and he presses a button and he slides down. His chair it goes flat and he slides into the floor and he has a tunnel down to I would assume the Batcave again. I think that's where he goes.
Whoa! Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. Jesus
Sorry.
Christ. This isn't the Batcast. Which is the podcast I'm doing with Terry in case we gotta drop Kitt. We've already, as of right now, we're like a month out from when the channel's probably gonna launch and we're recording this.
That feels nice. That feels really nice.
That feels really nice. Hopefully in the next month none of us does anything terrible or dies.
I swear to fucking God.
Oh,
Jesus Christ. I swear to God, if one of you die in the next month.
I do have y'all as my dependent in my life insurance, so I mean, it'll be fine.
Let me be rich.
Just don't tell my wife. She'll be pissed. She's already like, your Hobbit feet is too much for me.
All these Hobbit foot OnlyFans are really adding up.
Now, I would like to push back on what you just said, Kitt, about your hairy Hobbit feet. Because let me go back into my Go Bicker images folder, because I have a folder. Yep, here it is. It's called The Collection.
Do you have pictures of my feet?
I sure do.
Is this what I'm learning today?
I sure do. Let's see. When are these from? I have one picture in here from 2018. Another one from 2020. Let's see.
You got pre and post COVID feet.
Okay, be careful what you put on the internet, because I didn't know I ever put my feet on.
Let's see. Here's one.
Not only did you put it on the internet, Terry downloaded it and documented it and remembered it 4 and 6 years later. Oh my God.
Oh my God, it's my feet.
And I would like to note, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, hairless. Like a baby's bottom.
So, do you want me to tell you why they're hairless?
Is there a reason? Is this intentional?
It's not just genetics.
My feet.
You shave your feet?
You shave your feet? What?
Because I don't like that there's hair on it, so I shave my feet.
Oh, okay. Well, well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I retract my I didn't want to be here anymore. Can I leave the court?
I have a question. Is it just your feet, or is it like everything? Do you want to answer that?
He does have hair on the top
I
of
thought
his
we
head.
were a different podcast than we were before.
No, we're rebranded.
Oh,
That's
we're,
it.
we're rebranded. It's okay. We're almost 20 minutes in at this point. The algorithm doesn't care. We can say whatever we want at this point. So please tell me
Pussy.
about your shaving habits.
No. So I shaved my feet, and I did shave my legs because I got a tattoo recently.
Whoa.
So I had to shave my leg for that. And I was like, well, I'm not just shaving one. I'm going to shave both.
So wait, did you shave your whole? How big is the tattoo?
How far up the leg are
Because
we
now
talking?
I would like to just say I am now currently imagining something going from literally like your hip all the way down the side to your
you got
ankles.
a leg sleeve?
Like a leg sleeve, but only just on the side, like a big dragon or something.
Well, it's not a big dragon here. I'll post it here in a second as soon as I find the picture
Chris,
of
we're about to get full Kitt leg.
it. From kind of... It's so I didn't need to shave the whole leg, but if I'm going to shave part of the leg, I'm going
It
to shave the
begins
whole
at the
leg.
top of the ass cheek and slowly.
Oh, okay.
There.
Oh, that is a beautiful tattoo.
Yeah, it's a watercolor
This is
fox.
great for the audio. This is great for audio only
No, it's
podcast.
good.
that we're doing.
We're describing what we're seeing. It's fine.
That is awesome. It's a for the listeners at home. It's a really cool watercolor fox that looks like it's on fire, but that might just be part of the art.
That's kind of part of the art. Also, it's faded a little bit like what it's supposed to because it's the watercolor thing. This was like the day after. I think this might have been a couple of days after.
That's an awesome
'Cause-
tattoo, though. I love that.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice. But it's a watercolor fox where it's supposed to be like the fiery looking section is actually the watercolor section bleeding.
I love
in.
that style of tattoo.
Yeah. And the lady that I found was actually somebody I knew in high school.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, okay. So this is the thing that I don't like about Facebook.
Yep. Here we
I
go.
So
was-
anyway, shifting gears, I got some beef with you, Mark.
I was thinking to myself, I want a tattoo. Like, I didn't say it to anybody. I did nothing. And then I didn't even look it up yet. And then I opened up Facebook. And then I started getting pictures of her tattoo thing. I was like, what the hell, Facebook?
Are you sure you weren't mumbling to yourself?
Yeah, well, I'm probably sometimes. I guess.
tattoo. Me want tattoo.
Oh, I need a
On
tattoo.
that same note, talking about because everything at this point we just universally agree that everything we do is being monitored for advertisement purposes.
Mm-hmm.
My work computer is completely disassociated from any of my personal information or like my personal accounts. I don't have any personal accounts tied to it. I don't have any work stuff on any of my personal devices. Completely separated. I constantly get targeted ads on my work computer for stuff I search for or talk about away from work.
That is so weird.
Constantly. I have no idea why. It is it's on a completely separate network.
Oh,
in
it's
my
because
house.
it's just because it all knows. It knows. It's also
Yeah, it
like
does.
how I've never connected a phone number officially with my card, like my credit card. Yet I go to places, check out with like the like the Square readers and whatever, and it's like, great, thanks, Terry, and we'll want us to send you a text you a receipt. And I'm like, how the fuck do you know my phone number? Who are you?
I have never given my number or email address to any of those, the Square or any variation of Square, and it always, every time it knows my information.
So weird.
It'll like you'll go and you'll put your tip down and you'll say, okay, I'll tip $5 for this person who just stuck this in a microwave, and it pops up and says, this is your social security number, right? And I'm like, why? How do you know that? And it says, don't worry about that. It's fine.
If you don't tip enough, it just goes, you
Yeah.
cheap fuck.
It's
Stuff is creepy now.
It's
yeah,
weird.
it's terrifying.
Did you see that fight?
it's expensive.
Windows is wanting to add in like an AI thing that literally can see and monitors and tracks every single thing you do, and like they're like, yeah, it's great.
Not only is it an AI that watches every single thing you do on your computer and can recall any instance, it's a service you have to pay for. So you have to pay for Microsoft to monitor your shit, which
Great.
I hate. I despise that. I think technology and AI scares me very much.
It's
and I
gone
say
too
that
far.
As some like our AI is something. Maybe this is just me. I am terrified of seeing where AI goes from here. I don't want AI to develop anymore. Like I work in the tech sector. I don't want any more of it. Stop
the thing.
it right here.
It could be just like cool.
It could be cool, but it's not gonna be.
No, because like capitalism.
We're gonna wind up with Skynet. I
Yeah.
No
That's
doubt.
kind of what I'm hoping for.
I thought that's what you said.
No.
That's kind of what I'm working on because
Yeah. No,
I'm building AI guided NASA rockets that are gonna kill the libs.
Over at the
No.
missile factory.
See, Skynet will come along, and then we'll either be batteries or I don't know what else.
Ooh,
And we'll live in what, the Matrix, and then be able to do whatever we want.
That's what's gonna happen. I have no doubt about it.
I did tell you about my theory that the robots in the Matrix were the good guys, right?
oh God. All right, we just can't be doing this.
We can't go down that rabbit hole. I'm trying so badly to steer this as an introductory episode. To
Kit, it's episode 1. I can't be flying down there to beat your ass.
Yeah, we're
already.
not flying down that. We'll put it on we'll talk about that later. I'd really like to bring back Kitt's movies and such at some point on this channel. So anyway, if you've made it this far and you've never seen anything that we've done before,
Welcome.
well, yeah, welcome.
Well, I mean,
first of all.
honestly, if you've made it this far, you got the gist of what we do. I think.
Yeah, you've got the gist. This is pretty much everything that we've ever done, but surprisingly less racy.
What? Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like we've been making some gaffes and goofs, but it hasn't been like racist.
There was a conversation. There was a conversation I had with Terry when we were first starting this up again, where I was talking about Go Bicker, and if you go back and watch Go Bicker, just know it was a different time.
Yeah.
But it was like we ran Go Bicker in a very interesting time in internet history because it was very much a transition. It was between about I say the grand run of Go Bicker was like 2017 to 2019, 2020-ish. I'd say it ended with COVID.
It ended with
mostly.
COVID. Yeah.
It was a very interesting transitionary period in the internet because it the internet humor very much transitioned very, very quickly from like the Modern Warfare 2 lobby type humor to very, I wouldn't say safe humor, but where all that shit wasn't okay anymore all of a sudden. And we rode the wrong side of that line for a long time.
Yeah. I think in my personal life, it was actually COVID specifically that time that made me realize like, oh wow, no, I think the things they say, like they aren't like they're words that like have meanings and stuff, and like I should just think about them just like a little bit more.
Like
And-
I will still chuckle at some of those jokes. Don't get me wrong. I am human.
right,
I will
they're
be very straightforward and say like I'm human. I still to like I can go back and watch old Go Bicker content and I'll laugh at some of the jokes that we told. I know it's not appropriate. It's nothing I would tell now. We definitely
Right.
want to be better people. We want to make a conscious effort. I think we've all we've all grown as people because like I said earlier in the episode, when we did Go Bicker, the initial run, and a lot of our late independent stuff, it was like we were just out of high school and college, very, very different, immature people. And I'm sure there's still going to be immature humor here, but we're more mature.
Is this our apology video in the first episode?
I think there's some accountability that needs to be had for some of the things we said.
That's one thing I wanted
I think we
to
just
put out
delete it,
there.
right?
You know,
I
if
mean-
anybody, I'm not gonna hide that we did Go Bicker. I'm not gonna hide that we said some racy shit. Don't go back and watch our Vern Troyer episode. But we're very different people than we were 7 years ago when we were making that content.
Yeah, I like to think we tried a little bit. Like we tried,
ran being edgy way too long.
but that's the thing. Yeah, like we tried to at least have thought out jokes, but the main punchline was still just like edge lord shit. And yeah, it's like that's old. It's boring. It's kind of punching down most of the time anyway. It's like it's just not.
Yeah,
fun.
there was a lot of that, and that's like now I think we're like I said, we're still gonna. I'm sure we're gonna still have a lot of immature humor because I think that's just who we are as three people that enjoy
the
making
thing.
content together.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's why we work. But there's we're gonna focus on other things that are funny.
I guess what we're really trying to say is we're sorry.
It sounds like shit on Discord, but I could hear it just enough that was funny as joke. So
We're sorry.
I think Kit, can we make the final Go Bicker video an apology video that links to Stuck on the Internet?
That would be a great idea.
That'd be
a great idea. Well, I that's one thing that I kind of started to lead into in the pre-show where we were talking shop. I do think that we need to work on some like advertising content that we can put out on all of our like our channels and stuff to be like,
Yeah.
hey, this is a new thing that we're doing. We can talk about that more later. That's business
So
talk.
far, I actually feel comfortable with putting an ad on my channel today.
Yeah,
The
it's
other
great.
show,
Wait.
I was less comfortable with doing that.
Yeah, but like I said, I mean, I think at this point, you know, and I promise internet, like I'm not saying this shit just to pander. Like I legitimately, you know, part of doing this and why we're doing this now is I personally feel like we're all in such a better place for many reasons to be able to do content again.
Mm-hmm.
And the content that we have planned, should we go ahead and talk about the shows that we want to do? At least the two that we have in the pipeline right now?
I mean, I think we should at the very least, you guys talk about the one you did yesterday.
Yeah, so we've got 2 shows in the pipeline right now. Pretty much all 3 of us right now are going to kind of run a show. Terry has Good Morning, Good Night, which is going to be our podcast where we just kind of do this, talk, give a little bit behind the scenes, talk about things like Kitt's Kangaroo, which we'll get to later.
We will have to get to that.
We're going to talk about that before the end of this episode. But me and Kitt last night recorded episode 1. By the time this goes out, we'll probably be ready to put the whole series out weekly.
Hopefully.
But we started a show called Pip Boys. The first 8 episodes are going to be us discussing each of the 8 episodes of the Fallout show. And we're watching it 1 episode at a time and then doing
And
recording.
it's hard.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
It's a good
such
show.
good
It's hard
show.
to do one at a time.
But I had so much fun recording that because it's the fun thing about that is it's not just us dicking around talking about Fallout. We actually like dug into things and talked about lore.
We talked about a lot of lore.
Yeah, we
Like,
talked
I'm
about a lot of
surprised how
lore.
much we knew.
That's one of the things I think it would be fun once we get done with the show, like in between, kind of the space in between seasons of the show. I think it would be kind of cool to look into Fallout lore and kind of, you know,
I think
talk-
you guys have, wow, I mean, God, how many Fallout games to go through? Video
Yeah.
games alone, and then I know there's at least a couple board games, and
Yeah,
I'm sure
I mean,
there's like novels and comics and shit too. So there's
There's
lots of
7
Fallout to talk
games.
about.
Yeah, there's a lot of games. I think it would be kind of cool to like play through the different Fallout games and talk about the experience because I've never played through the originals. I've never played through
Yeah,
the turn-based
so there you
version.
go.
I'd love to go
You
through
need
and
to
do
go
that.
1 and 2 and Tactics, right?
Yeah, and I think Brotherhood of Steel was another one, wasn't it?
And I know people don't like that one, which makes it really
yeah.
good to talk about. I think.
Yeah,
Is
so-
why don't people like it? You know.
Yeah, we're gonna have a show. The Pip Boys is gonna revolve entirely around Fallout. It's super fun because me and Kitt are huge Fallout fans. It's been a running joke associated with me for years that I hate Fallout. I fucking love Fallout. It is one of my all-time favorite games to me.
Can I talk about why that has stuck with you though? Or do you know
Please
why?
go-
Or do
go
you want to say?
I do know why, but I want you to say it.
Because I
wanna
think
hear
it's
it from
funny.
you.
So because that's this. So before Go Bicker, well, there's kind of a weird transitionary period where we were kind of 2 different Minecraft servers. First, the Brew Gaming Network and the Brewcraft, and then that became Leech Snow.
We'll probably eventually do yet another anthology of our YouTube careers. We don't have time for it today, but we'll do it at some point in the
my
next few
favorite thing.
episodes.
But back in BGN Brewcraft days, that would have been, what years were BGN? Because I mean, obviously it coincided with Fallout 4 coming out, which was 2015.
I want to say, and I can pull it up. I think it was like 2014 to 2016. I was still in high
That sounds
school.
right. Okay, that sounds right, because then we would have joined a Leech in probably late 2016. Yes. No, I remember. Oh my God, I literally remember that's when I remember doing the videos on my personal channel. Yes. Okay. So we would have joined Leech Snow in like 2016, like summer 2016 is I think when the merger happened. And then, because then Go Bicker started July 2017. But so the precursor to Go Bicker and Not Really But Kinda and all those podcasts was Brewcast, and the Brewcast extensively covered the release of Fallout 4 in 2015. And
Not to cut you off.
Yeah, go
but
ahead.
I'm going to cut you off. Brew Gaming Network formally launched September 18th, 2015. And I have videos on there that run through. My last episode was uploaded. Wow, it had a very brief run. February 3rd, 2016. So that was the Minecraft channel.
I remember the
Okay.
day that Chris killed the Maple Network or whatever
Yeah,
it's called.
We will do, like I
Maplecraft.
said, I assure you, because I re-listened to the
Personally killed
last
it.
time we did an anthology of our YouTube history. I think it's
Like
a very
I've been everywhere in YouTube. Like it's weird. Like I've been connected to a lot of people that people actually know, but nobody's ever heard of me.
Yeah, except this time we're gonna do it. People are gonna know these.
Yeah,
three.
we got it.
Well, I think having shows like Pit Boys and I mean like now being able to freshly again cover Fallout content as it comes out.
Hopefully, by the time everything comes out, we'll have a third production that's ready to roll that I'm leading, which is going to be tentatively called Super Serious, which is going to be a podcast. It's a scripted podcast. It's the very first scripted podcast we've ever done, just across the board ever. I've been researching it. We're not going to get into. I don't want to tease what the first episode's about, but I've been doing research on it. Basically, the idea is that we're going to take funny or stupid or weird
very
topics.
serious topics.
We're gonna take very serious topics, and we're gonna go through and do deep dive reviews. I'm gonna write a script and sit down with Terry and Kitt or whoever else. I like the idea of that one could include anybody.
Rotating guests, that's a good one. Okay.
Yeah, just have a bunch of people and sit down and read through the script. I've been trying to do a really good job while writing the script for episode 1 to include a lot of like hooks and open-ended stuff that could lead the conversation. That's probably the order they'll come out for right now. Is going to be Good Morning, Good Night, Pip Boys, which we should be having that one. Pip Boys should be coming out for a regular cadence every week for the first few episodes of that show. I don't know how we're going to do it once we're through the podcast or once we're through the show. But we'll get to that bridge.
We might have a break after.
Yeah, we might have a break for a little while.
Out what we're doing with our lives.
Yeah, we'll probably break for a little while. I like the idea of doing some supplemental content between.
Yeah, I think
it'd be a lot of fun to do some supplemental content between the.
And going through the games, like Terry said, that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, we can definitely make it work.
So
that's gonna be good.
In between show could be doing a Let's Play on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, doing a Let's Play or live streaming or
both.
Yeah, we can definitely make it work. And that's stuff, that's stuff that we're gonna cross once we get to it. Like I said, we're still a month out from the YouTube channel even being able to be created because we went through official channels and set this up as though it was business. So we really, really hope this works out.
Yeah, and I think that's why we're putting a lot of this thought into things ahead of time and trying to go into things with more of a plan than we ever did before, because we're not freshly out of high school anymore. We're now adults with, well, I don't have a career. I'm a fucking dishwasher, among other things. But, we're people trying to take things seriously and trying to just do a good job, which I think is something that we haven't always been able to say. Totally.
Yeah, I mean, our goal here, we really do want to make this as successful as possible. Whether success is, being able to do this full time or just having concurrent shows and a regular audience. We are here. Our goal is to make it just fun and enjoyable and make great content. I think I personally, and I've talked with both of you on this same topic. I think we've had a really strong start. I think we're going to have some really good shows go out, and I'm just really excited to see where things go.
Me too.
So on that note, I think we've covered the introduction, who we are, what we're going to do. I really want to talk about a post I saw on Facebook today. When I was scrolling Facebook, because my soul is owned by social media, I saw a post by our very own Kitt with a very, very delicious looking pasta dish. And I'm a sucker for some pasta.
Yeah,
I like pasta. And I would like to, I'm going to read the caption that our friend here put on this Facebook post. And it is, and I quote, penne with truffle marinara and kangaroo. So I then inquired with my friend. I posted in the Stuck on the Internet Discord and said, hey, buddy, kangaroo?
Yeah.
He has not yet. We talked about this for probably about an hour in the Discord. Never once would he acknowledge where he got kangaroo.
It's just kangaroo.
Where do you get kangaroo?
I've never.
What do you mean? Where do you get kangaroo?
I've never seen kangaroo, and I mean, like, I guess I don't even know where. I don't even know where I'd begin to look for kangaroo.
I go to a very nice butcher, and he said he can get me anything. If I walked in and told that man I want kangaroo, he'd probably ask me to leave his store.
What would you put at ground in that? What would you use?
No, Kitt.
That's not the point.
Your Honor, that is not the question.
Conjecture.
I don't get what the point is. I thought the truffle would be the weirdest thing.
No, truffle? You
Yeah,
can get truffle at the grocery store.
I've seen truffle.
I have seen truffle. I have never once seen kangaroo, nor have I even, it has never entered my headspace. Because I know people eat kangaroo, because people eat everything.
Yeah. Because I mean, as far as I'm aware, correct me if I'm wrong, people who know, but in Australia, kangaroo are like deer, where they're kind of just everywhere, and if anything, kind of a pest. So, like, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, great, you're Australian, you eat kangaroo. We, if you can't tell, mate, are not Australians.
We're Americans.
You don't. I'm from Texas.
You
right?
live in
and
Texas.
Y'all don't eat kangaroo?
Where did you get a kangaroo?
What do you mean?
That's exactly the question. That's what I
do you
mean.
I don't. What are you talking about? It's just kangaroo. It's
I know what it is. Where did you get it?
at a store.
What kangaroo store?
Where do you usually get your meat from?
I go to the grocery store.
What do you use in burgers?
Hamburger. Cow.
You always use kangaroo
Cow?
for. Is that
Like
like
the
your
thing you use
go-to
for
meat?
steak? Steak and that doesn't sound right. That's expensive.
And kangaroo isn't.
Wait, yeah, surely kangaroo is more expensive than steak. I think I've seen a cow. I probably live not too far from a cow. I don't know where the nearest kangaroo is.
I live not too far from a cow.
So,
He's a great guy.
I live in Texas and we make the cows here, so I
You
don't
make cows
why-
in Texas?
Yeah, that we 90%
cow
of us is
factory.
a cow farm, and which is actually a cow farm that's bigger than some countries. Believe it or not,
That's
a
interesting.
fun fact.
Stop deflecting. Where did you buy the kangaroo?
At the
What
store.
country
I
is this
don't-
the cow farm bigger than?
You can buy cow. Okay, so I just googled this, and because I just
King
googled
Ranch
where do you
is what
buy
it's called.
kangaroo meat.
Oh.
The first thing that pops up is an Amazon listing.
You can get kangaroo on Amazon?
You can buy kangaroo on Amazon. You can buy generic ground kangaroo, 10 pounds, $255.
Okay, money bags.
You can also get kangaroo steaks. But what I'm gathering from just this quick glance onto Amazon is kangaroo is significantly more expensive than beef, furthering my questions about where you came into kangaroo. And not only where you came into kangaroo, it has never crossed into my headspace to use kangaroo in pasta.
Well, so I needed something to match with the truffle, and kangaroo is just it's a good meat. It's a little bit it's strong.
What
So
does
you
it taste
you
like?
need a big kangaroo.
Yeah.
It tastes like kangaroo.
Okay, that's not helpful.
Tastes
I'm
like
getting-
yak.
It's like yak.
Yak, like the common.
Another thing
Other
I've
ground
never
beef.
ever I don't think I've ever tried yak.
Seriously, what do y'all do for burgers? Yak is good.
I've had bison. Bison's good.
I feel like bison's probably the most wild I've gotten because I would just like to say, Mr. Judgmental, that I don't necessarily always have kangaroo and yak on demand. You know, like
Kangaroos are everywhere. I'm I'm surprised.
not in this hemisphere.
I have never seen a kangaroo in the wild.
Northerns are weird.
Okay,
I live in the
only
South.
one. Yeah, I would say only one of us here is a northerner, and it's me. So
Oh, okay, North Carolina.
aren't you? Wait, no, wait, hold on. I think in his defense, I think he's in South Carolina again.
I'm in the best Carolina. I'm in South Carolina.
There is no best Carolina.
Yeah, you're still in a Carolina. I mean, God.
Yeah, I mean, it's like saying, well, it's the best garbage can.
Hey, at least we have electricity here.
Ooh.
Oh, okay,
Hey,
that's
yeah.
true. At least we have the common known meat as kangaroo.
The common. I
So,
don't.
okay. So I guess you can just buy kangaroo at the grocery store in Texas. That's normal.
I don't.
He's not confirming
Objection.
what-
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either. I want to know where he got it from, but he's not going to tell us. Which makes me think it's an illicit source.
That's the thing. If he's being so cagey about it, it's got to be some sort of underground fucking kangaroo dealer who probably maybe sells. Oh, you bastard! He probably sells koalas too, doesn't he? You
Can you imagine,
sick
like,
son of a
I just
bitch.
imagine Kitt rolling up in a dark alleyway in a car and just rolling down his deeply tinted window, and a dude walks over in a trench coat and just whips it open, and he's got meat just hanging from the trench coat.
He's got huge bags of kangaroo.
He's like, "What you want? You want some kangaroo? You want some koala? I got some horse over here if you want it. Got some yak in the back."
Yeah, yeah, kid. Why not just put some horse on there? Surely you've got plenty of horses in Texas.
Yeah, we ride horses. We ride cows. Why would we eat what we ride? I don't.
You ride cows.
Have you not seen
There's
Buffalo?
the rodeo.
I have not seen
The
people
blue
riding
cow?
cows personally.
That's
No,
it's a famous thing.
is it really?
I will
Yeah.
give that to Kitt. I have seen people ride cows before.
I mean,
It's
I
not
guess
like-
I'm not. I don't find it as unbelievable as eating a
It would be
fucking
like
kangaroo.
eating a
But
dog. That's gross. Do you want to eat your best boy?
Like, I'm not denying. Like, I just all I want to know is where it came from. Where can you buy kangaroo meat?
Is this an exclusive Texas thing, or I mean, like, do I have?
Well, you can order it online. I googled it. I mean, there's places outside of Amazon. I just thought it was funny that Amazon was the first thing that popped up. But you can buy kangaroo meat online. I don't know why you would, like, what would draw you to that? Because there's Fossil Farms, hoping for a sponsorship here. You can get, let's see, you can get a 4-pack of kangaroo sausage for $14. You can get some kangaroo medallions. Kangaroo ground beef, 1 pound for $16.
I found
Again,
meatmarkets.com where you can buy 10 pounds for $400.
Jesus. I want to know why this website is so cheap.
It's not even fucking kangaroo.
I only spent like $10 to $12 for my kangaroo.
Did you buy it?
Like, where can I go spend the $10 to $12 and buy kangaroo?
At the store.
At the kangaroo store?
I don't get it. It's just go to the store and
What store? Walmart?
Sure. I don't know.
Did you?
I don't know
Where
what
did you
stores
buy?
have up there?
If you go to Walmart and ask for kangaroo meat, I'm pretty sure they're going to call the police.
No, it's Walmart. They don't give a shit.
No, they don't. You can buy ground kangaroo on blackwingqualitymeats.com or blackwing.com. It's a company called Blackwing Quality Meats. You can buy it for $11.99 a pound.
I definitely didn't buy it online, if that helps.
So I just clicked on the products tab for this website, and the listing of products is in this order: bison, in parentheses, buffalo, holistic pet food and treats, coffee, kangaroo, grass-fed lamb, ostrich, pork, and bison hides. And then just at the bottom it says bones.
This is great. Can we get sponsored by these people?
You can buy antelope.
Oh, so you can make some bone broth with it. That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, you can buy yak on here too.
Yak is good.
I would try yak. I mean, I would try kangaroo too.
Listen,
realistically,
yeah, this is the thing. I would love to try all these foods. Where in the mother of fuck do you get them?
At the store.
I'm gonna legally shoot you. I'm gonna stand my ground and shoot you.
Oh yeah, that fuck.
Is there like a special, like, exotic butcher that you go to?
No, for ground beef?
It's not just regular ground meat. It's a kangaroo.
This is a creature that's not native to this continent.
They're, as you said, they're pests. They're everywhere, right?
In Australia!
In a different continent.
I'm still confused why y'all are so upset.
I'm gonna lose my mind. Just kidding. It's
It's
lost.
so
It's already
common.
been
Dogs
lost.
eat kangaroo. I mean, it's a common
Dogs
meat.
eat kangaroo?
Yeah.
Dogs eat any kind of meat.
Well, yeah,
I've seen
dogs
my-
will. I mean, you know what else my dog eats? Shit. Out of the cat box. They eat lots of stuff, okay?
Why are dogs so attracted to
Can I-
cat shit?
Have I ever told you about the time I saw a dog? We were babysitting a dog and I watched him shit and then eat the shit that he just shat?
I've seen that happen before too.
It's like, it's so gross. Like, yeah, if you can believe that, dog's dead now. Unrelated, but maybe not.
Unrelated. I didn't just shoot him.
Listen, yeah, I was not responsible for the death of that dog, but I think that dog and his nasty eating habits were responsible for the death of that dog. It's like Marley and Me when he swallowed the chain and died or whatever happened at the end of that. I don't know.
Jesus Christ. I don't think that's how that movie ended.
Yeah, didn't Owen Wilson reach his hand down and he's like, you ate my necklace, you dumb fucking mutt. And then he killed the dog?
I think you watched a completely different movie.
No.
I want to bring back Kitt's movies and such for the theories, and then I want to make Terry's movies and such for bad recollections of movies.
Listen, I saw it once when I was a kid, and this is what I'm pretty sure is what happened.
I remember there was that episode of, I can't remember if it was Not Really But Kinda or Krusty Pickle Grandma's, but there was an episode where nobody showed up, so you just recited the entirety of Grease from memory. And I want to take that, but make it a whole podcast for movies you haven't seen in like 15 years.
That's an exceptional idea. Yeah.
I think that'd be a lot.
I think
of
at
fun.
most I could have like the cast list and be like, all right, well, who are all these people? I don't.
All right, so we're gonna sit down, and I'm gonna assign each of you a character.
You're Mr. Roboto. Sir, this is Forrest Gump.
This is the better Forrest Gump. Thank you,
Lieutenant Roboto.
Oh, we have other topics.
I feel unresolved.
I feel
you know,
unresolved, but I also feel like we're not going to resolve that topic.
we'll put a pin in
What
it
is-
and we'll come back to it next time.
In our notes, we have heart stuff.
Yeah, well, actually, yeah. So we were okay. So we had the energy of our youth and the excitement of playing Minecraft that got us started making content all those years ago. Maybe I'm summarizing a little bit, but that's kind of the gist, I think.
Yeah, basically, we had a lot more time on our hands.
We had a lot more time.
We were all people. Well, at least me and Terry were. Kit's always perpetually been like 10 years older than us.
That is how age
Yeah.
works, I suppose.
Yeah, also another thing I just want to touch on before you go down your thing, Terry.
Mm-hmm.
I think at some point between when we're recording this and when the channel and this all gets uploaded and we kick this off, I will have known Kitt for 10 years.
Holy cow.
We met in
fucking nuts.
2014. It was early June of 2014 is when we met.
Jeez.
That is insane. I was not even like a real person 10 years ago.
Oh, well, yeah. So yeah, right. So yeah, Chris and I were still in high school. And I mean, got at that rate, I guess Kitt, you weren't even that fucking far out of high school.
Yeah, how old were you 10 years ago?
24?
You were 10 years ago. You were younger than I am now. That's nuts.
Are you kid? You're no Terry. You're older than 24.
Yeah, no, I'm almost 26, but I'm just saying, like,
Oh,
10 years
okay.
ago,
That's
like,
that's
if I
crazy.
time traveled right now, I would be older than the Kitt that I knew 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. I thought you
Yeah.
said you were younger than No, that's crazy. But anyway, Terry, you can continue now that I've derailed you.
we were babies. Kitt was basically like a toddler, just a little bit of an older baby.
He was a toddler with a beard.
Oh, no.
no,
can't
I don't
grow
think he had a beard.
but-
You know?
We've already discussed his aversion to hair.
I hate hair. My wife is bald. I mean, kill.
Yeah. So do you guys have like a hairless household then? Like, we have pets? So probably not then, right?
Yeah.
Gotta
Well,
shave
my
the
wife
dog.
said that I have to have hair because she doesn't, and I think it's unfair because I hate hair.
I completely bald now. It's another thing that's changed about me. I'm absolutely bald. I've got a big beard. Absolutely the way to go. I encourage everybody.
Until
who
you
can
added
shave
the
their
big
head.
beard, that was hot.
Yeah, I can't grow a big beard either. I can grow a scraggly neck beard. So
I've got my beard's big, my hair is not. I had very quick male pattern baldness hit, so now I am literally the picture of who you imagine recording a podcast. I'm a 6'4" bald bearded white man with glasses.
Now you just have to start talking about your diet and how you make all the gains and stuff.
Oh, I have no gains. The only thing I
Yeah.
gain is weight. I drink beer. I eat fattening food.
no,
I only eat things that are stronger than me, and the
I
most
only eat
strongest
things
thing
that'll
is
kill me.
spider. So I eat only spider.
I only eat
the only
spiders.
thing that's stronger than me is a spider.
To hell with kangaroo meat. I wolf down some spiders. Anyway.
So we were babies. Kitt was a kangaroo eating toddler.
He was a young adult eating
And then-
kangaroo.
And then I was in college. I still had a bit more time, but slowly other people were losing time. And then also I was suicidally depressed. And you can listen to me talk about that for weeks on end. It's great.
Yeah, some of that like middle of Go Bicker, especially after you started drinking, and there was a solid 10 episodes where it was just me and Terry, and we were hammered every episode. 'Cause I was also going through some shit during that time, which is something we might touch on in another episode. I was going through some worst part of my life too.
Yeah.
So we were literally there was probably 5 to 10 episodes of Not Really But Kinda that were just not like we were just two dudes hanging out having a drink. We were getting shit faced during these episodes.
Yeah. And it's like we're trying to outdo each other, basically.
Yeah, because he would take 2 shots, I would take 3 shots, and I was drinking an IPA during this.
And I was drinking
That's-
also like hard seltzers and stuff.
Yeah, it was real bad time.
A lot of drinking, a lot
like I
of
said earlier,
sadness.
we are different people now.
And I think we can probably, I don't know, it feels like too much pressure to put on our significant others, but I kind of do think they kind of saved us a little.
I think that's part of it. Definitely, I was, again, something we can talk about more in another episode. We have so many episodes to do because we have to at very least beat out Not Really But Kinda.
Mm-hmm.
Once we hit 74 episodes, we're fucking done. No, but anyway, yeah, wife's significant others, absolutely turn things around.
But then going back to how this whole topic started, you discovered, Chris, recently some heart-related issues that also were probably
yeah.
not helping anything throughout this whole venture on top of it.
That was part of it, especially as we got into the later Go Bicker. I would say probably like COVID and after, because there was a few times we kept trying to bring it back. And I work in IT. It's a fairly stressful field to work in. I already had the stress of work. And basically, we would get to a point where it was time to record a podcast. And I was constantly stressed and exhausted and just kind of in I would almost say a catatonic state is the best way I can think to put it, where I just didn't want to do anything. And I always thought it was like anxiety or depression or whatever, and I would just kind of dip on episodes. And I think that's a lot of why Go Bicker kind of fell apart, is because, one of the central people just wasn't showing up.
Yeah. Well, I'll say to that. Yeah. So you wouldn't show up for that reason. Maya wouldn't show up because she was a full-time student and then working, I think nearly full-time, if not full-time as well. I think Kitt was running into a similar issue, not being a student, I guess, but working a lot and having to deal with being an adult. So 3 of the 4 main people weren't showing up.
Yeah, so obviously that made it kind of difficult. But, fast forward a couple of years up until, like, it was January of this year. It's being recorded in May of 24. I started going for the very first time to a doctor that's actually worth a shit.
Way.
So a little bit of background on me medically, without going into too much detail. I have had high blood pressure like my entire life, and not like, oh, it's slightly elevated. Like, are you okay? Level high blood pressure. Like, the lowest average it was like 160/90, which is very bad.
Yeah. What does that mean? I've never understood what, like, I'll get my blood pressure taken and they're like, it's this over this, that's great. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I don't understand what the blood pressure things mean. I just know that it's high enough to where every doctor I've ever been to has been like, yeah, that's a problem. Every doctor I'd ever been to today, to a point where I gave up on going to doctors. Every doctor was like, it's because you don't eat right and you don't exercise. And there was even a time in my life where I went to the gym 3 to 4 days a week. I was eating very healthy. I stopped drinking. Nothing changed, like not even a little bit of a dip. And then it turns out I started going to a new doctor, and he started doing some tests. And yeah, as it would have it, I have a not like a formally like a condition with a name, but basically it's genetics fucked me in the ass in terms of heart problems. And my blood pressure is just naturally like 40 points higher than it needs to be.
Nice.
And so I started taking blood pressure medicine, and it dropped basically overnight. And now I feel like an entirely different person.
Jeez.
Because it's for the first time that I can remember, my blood pressure is with, I don't know what a good number is off the top of my head, because I'm not used to having it. But like it's down to a reasonable level, because before I would go into work. And especially in the job I have now, which I like the job I have now, if in case my employer is watching this for some reason, I like the job I have now, but it is very stressful, and I'd get stressed at work, and I would literally have a migraine headache all day, every day.
Okay.
And there was a period where, like, the first week I was taking this medicine, and it was like, I got off work, and I was like, oh. My wife was like, what? I'm like, I feel okay. Like, there was a shit show. I feel great. I feel fine. I mean, today, recording this, and yesterday, when we did the Fallout show, both shit shows, absolutely would not have showed up for this a year ago.
Wow.
And today, I'm fine. Like, it's just like the best way I can think to describe it. What I told my doctor is like, before, when I would get stressed, it was kind of like it would just ball up, and it would build and build and build and get really, really bad, and to a point where I felt like I couldn't do anything, and I was in a room where the walls were pushing in. And now it's like, the stress is there. I can tell it's there, but it just kind of rolls off.
Yeah, now you're like, I just had a long day.
Yeah, I just had a long day. I'm tired, but it's like, no, I'm fine. I'm great now. I still get stressed. I'm not gonna lie, I still get stressed.
Well, yeah,
I know I still get stressed. But instead of dealing with the literal physical toll of that for the rest of the day and into the next day, I can now recover. I get off work an hour before my wife. I usually go out and hang out outside, and I'm fine. I can come and do podcasts. Honestly, makes it to where I am able to do this, to sit down and not just be silent, be engaged, and actually want to be here.
But
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's seriously, because I still kind of do battle a little bit with anxiety and depression, but it's so much better than it was a year ago.
But and you're not dealing with anxiety, depression, and then also the insanely high blood pressure. It's like one less thing. That
was really what was doing it. And it helps too, that especially because it's kind of feeding into it, is I And if you watch some of the earlier Go Vicar content, you can probably pick up on this. I had a little bit of a drinking problem. I still drink. I'm not sober by any means, but I significantly cut back on my drinking. So I think that's helping too, because when you get drunk every night, it tends to have some negative effects on your brain.
Well, yeah, also because I mean, as kind of referenced earlier, a lot of the time like drinking on shows and stuff, we weren't have a drink with the boys. It was getting shit faced, just getting
seriously, it was. And I wasn't like to that point where I was doing it every night, but I'm a big bourbon drinker, bourbon and whiskey in general. I really like whiskey, and I realized it was a problem when I bought I don't know if either of you shop at Costco, and I have a Costco that has a liquor store in it, but they have this, it's like a 1.75 liter bottle of scotch. It's mixed scotch. It's like $30. And if you don't know, 1.5 liters of something that's 80% alcohol, it's a lot of alcohol. I polished that thing off in like 3 weeks.
God damn.
And that was the point. I looked at that bottle and I went, I gotta stop.
Couldn't have been that good of
it was not great. It was okay. It was good mix. I've got another for mixing. It's really good for mixing. If anybody's a Scotch drinker, I think that's what it's for. I got it because I have a problem. But no, like I kind of realized that was a problem, and like I think the first 2 months I was on blood pressure medicine, I didn't drink at all, and I've kind of eased back into it. I still drink. I still, I'll have a beer when I'm cooking dinner. I still have a very extensive whiskey collection that I really enjoy, and I still enjoy whiskey, but I know to cut it off after like 1 or 2, 3 at the most. Right. Like I've very much put a hard line on self-control. Like I don't want to go down that road again. But if I ever start to go down again, I think I'm going to just quit entirely. But this year I think I've kind of picked up drinking a little bit again in like March, and I've been doing okay with it. But I think those two things, blood pressure medicine and just not being an alcoholic, because there was like probably 4 years there where I drank a lot. That has helped significantly. And it's really, I talk about that on that kind of personal note to open things up, but it's also, it has really given me a drive and a new motivation to do this and to do this kind of content. And I'm really, really excited I've said it a few times already, but I'm really excited to see where things go, especially with some of these other shows that we're doing. Pit Boys is a ton of fun, and Super Serious, I think so far is gearing up to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to those.
Yeah, and that's definitely not the only stuff that we're going to do on this channel. I've got 2 or 3 other ideas brewing in my mind.
I've got a few ideas as well that I'm excited for.
I also have a few.
One of the things I do want to note for the general audience out there's going to be a lot of content where it's 1 or 2 or all 3 of us together doing stuff. There's also going to be content that we're looking at doing that's going to be just like one of us and other people that aren't associated with, full-time associated with Stuck on the Internet. We're kind of looking at, and a lot of that stuff's in its infancy. It's early infancy, so I can't speak to exactly what. But we have big plans. We have big dreams. We have a lot of really cool shows, I think, in the pipeline. And that's my personal stuff of how getting medicated and stopping heavily drinking every night has led to this internet content renaissance.
Wow.
Yay.
Amazing.
But it is really cool. And I will say, on a somewhat sappy note, I'm very, very happy to be back recording with both of you, because
yeah, me too.
2 of my favorite people.
Aw, I'm 2 of my favorite people too.
I am also 2
fucking
people.
Kangaroo meat. I am actually 3 kids in a trench coat trying to sneak into an R-rated movie.
I'm happy to be recording with y'all too.
Yeah,
it's really nice. As soon as you messaged me, I was like, "Oh my god, yes! I needed this. Thank you so much for messaging." Like I was literally about to message y'all the same day that you messaged me.
What's so funny is I was talking to Terry about this when we started planning all this. Is I had been thinking about getting everything back together, like getting everyone back together and doing this for like 2 months now.
Yeah,
like to a point where I was starting to draw up YouTube channel designs and stuff like that, and I was like, these guys are never going to want to fucking do anything with me because of the amount of times I just didn't show up. So
You're like my Brokeback Mountain. I don't know what it is, but why can't I quit?
I was so happy when Terry was like, I was like, yeah, I'm kind of thinking about doing podcasts again. And like 30 minutes later, we were in a Discord chat planning things.
Yeah, yeah. Well, because it sounds like we were all 3 about ready to go again.
Yeah.
And figure this out. So
I started doing stuff on my YouTube channel by myself, and I was like, man, This would be perfect if I could get my two bestest boys with me.
Yeah, I think this trio
And then
has
y'all
always
were a
been.
good settlement.
It's always been at the core of content, like the stuff that we've made. I mean, really, because I mean, Terry, we're probably coming up on 9 years. You know, I say Kitt's 10 years.
Yeah.
We're probably coming up on 9 years. It's like literally the past decade in one form or another. At least once a year, we've done some kind of content.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I think for the first time, we're at a point to where we can drive. Please tell me my computer didn't just turn off. Okay,
I can still hear you, so we're so far so
That
good.
happened last time.
My computer just shut off earlier today, which was really fun. And then my monitors went dark because I haven't touched my cursor in a minute.
That's scary. Oh god.
Yeah, it was very scary. I need to build a new computer. But yeah, I think this is the first time in a long time I feel like that we've had the drive and the motivation and the ability to make something really awesome. And I think we're gonna do it this time.
Yeah.
Helps being adults, like properly adults, not in school, not like just starting out and everything. Like
Yeah.
kinda
Oh yeah.
Life
having at least
experience and everything.
yeah, the experience of doing this for a long time, of being out in the world a bit. I'm feeling a lot better about it than previously, and yeah, and it's good. I am a little worried about the future, like in 6 months' time, see how things are going. But that is just kind of based on how things have gone in the past. So I'm a little traumatized, but I
will say, at least for me, because I think all of us have probably had that same thought.
Yeah, I even said it.
Terry said it out loud.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, I feel like this is even going back to Go Bicker, this is the first time I have ever truly actually felt, not that I didn't want things to succeed before. This is the first time I've actually had confidence that this could become something.
Yeah, I can see that. I can feel that.
I think that goes a long way, and I think that
this feels good.
I think there were a lot of times in Go Bicker where I was the only one really rooting for it, and everyone else is like, no, this is fun to fuck around with, I guess. Which I think is fair enough. Like I don't hold hard feelings about that. I think this is. It's almost like Go Bicker had to happen for this to happen, and I feel better about Stuck on the Internet.
Well, I've been in the wake of Rooster Teeth closing. I've been listening to a lot of Rooster Teeth podcasts, which is part of why I wanted to do this, because I've really been getting back into podcasts. But a lot of listening specifically to the Anma podcast with Jeff and Gus, a lot of what they've said is like, we couldn't have made Rooster Teeth if it wasn't for ugly internet, if it wasn't for drunk gamers, if it wasn't for all that early pre-content to figure out what we're doing. And I feel like that was Go Bicker for us, or that was like our YouTube channels. That was BGN. That was Go Bicker. Figuring out, getting the footing, getting all that just stupid early comedy out of the way, that poorly timed comedy.
Yeah, and then learning how to physically just actually make shit too on top of that.
how to do it, how to make it, and then we're all now in a space. I think a lot of it goes back to all three of us, at least me, are in better just general headspaces to make content and to make good content, because I wouldn't have been able to I would not want to deal with making a scripted podcast a year or two ago, but now I'm excited about it, and we've got a lot of really good plans in the pipeline. 1 hour 10-minute mark. Do we want to start wrapping up?
Yeah. I was giving it a space in case Kitt had anything to say. Nope. Okay, cool.
No, he's dead. He's dead now. The kangaroo came and got him.
I heard you talking shit, mate.
Crikey. So this has been episode 1.
Sorry, I had that late. Oh, wait. Did you even notice I was gone?
He just straight up left.
I did not. Luckily we didn't notice, and we didn't say anything about it.
Well, then forget me saying I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I didn't.
Cut that out. Just beep everything Kitt says from
around
here.
my house for a bit. Why did it seem like I did or something? I don't.
You missed the most profound thing Terry has ever said in his entire life.
I cried.
Oh, I guess I'll just have to watch the podcast.
No, I'm
just
deleting
like you
this.
have, loyal viewers.
Oh yeah. Oh, I suppose should I do a rigmarole of some sort?
Let's figure out a rigmarole. This is the episode where we figure out we get our groove.
Okay. Let's see. Well, if you didn't know, this has
Do
been.
we talk over him this time, or are we just not talking over?
Good
him?
night.
This has been. We say good night and then we just drop our heads onto our desks. Just like, good night.
Do you have the list of all the websites and everything?
Well, basically, follow Stuck on the Internet wherever you follow people on the internet at subscribe to this show. Good morning, good night.
Instagram and X are both stuck on internet. Hopefully by the time this goes live, stuck on the internet. Well, I really hope, because I think that's where the podcast is going to live.
Yep.
Stuck on the internet.com will be live.
And that's also where you can find show notes, and depending on what I've included, you'll be able to see maybe Kitt's feet pics.
Yeah, go yes. Our link, we'll probably put together a link dump for this. Stuck on the internet.com. All of our podcasts are going to be there. All of our contact information. The fun part about these first few episodes of this podcast is it's probably all going to be recorded while we're setting all this up.
Yep. And I think in some ways that's what this very show is. We have it labeled in a lot of our notes as the bullshit one, as in like we're bullshitting with each other and everything. But a lot of that bullshitting might also just be the fact that we're midway through production on Super Serious and our first topic of that, and we're diving into another show or whatever. Pit Boys is in production, so this is almost a behind the scenes thing.
Yeah, behind the scenes and bullshitting.
You'll get to join us on our journey of becoming podcasters, and
eventually we'll make this show fit the format of a morning show.
Yeah.
Like we wanted, a morning show-ish, but we're under construction. The cafe's under construction right now, so this is the slightly hungover construction workers talking over a lukewarm coffee.
I had a fresh hot coffee when we sat down.
So. We were at the grocery store this afternoon, and I almost got some. I think I'm gonna do teas. Like nighttime teas, because we record the idea of the show. So we should explain an hour and 14 minutes.
Oh yeah, as we're wrapping up, let's explain the show.
As we're wrapping up, we're going to explain the show. It's basically the idea behind the show. We'll get there eventually. Is that we call it Good Morning, Good Night. It's supposed to be kind of like a morning show, but we record it at night because, as we've said 15 billion times, we're working adults. We'll probably get some like coffee and tea and stuff. I want to do tea because I can get decaffeinated tea because decaf coffee is not real.
I had a half calf. It tasted pretty real to me.
I think I'm gonna do some tea just because I don't want to because I'm East Coast, so I stay up the latest.
Oh, that's right. I always keep forgetting about that too. Actually,
right.
Yeah, I don't because it's almost 9 o'clock here. Like I'm gonna go to bed in an hour probably. I want to be able to do that, so I think I'm gonna get some. Either like I don't want to get sleepy time tea because then I feel like I'm gonna be asleep halfway through the episode.
Just hear him snoring in the background.
I think it would be perfectly fair if you made yourself like a drink, not to get like drunk, but like to have a drink.
I thought about that. I kind of panicked going into this.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
but
this
again,
I will absolutely say we are definitely finding our footing. These first few episodes, we will probably wind up getting the main shtick of the podcast down in like 3 or 4 episodes once we're live and working.
By episode 10, we'll have a rigmarole going, where it's like you start out, we'll probably be talking about what we're drinking, and then we'll do an intro, and then we'll talk about some topics, and we'll argue about some things for a bit. At some point, I'd like to have audience Q&As and things like that, and then we'd wind down. That's kind of the format that I'm thinking in my head.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same thing I had, and at this point, I said we are literally at the point where before going into this, we were discussing should we have a website. So we are still setting. We made the decision to get a website literally like 5 minutes before we hit record on this. We're still building this as we're doing this podcast. Yeah. But that's one of the cool things is we're going to be able to show the behind the scenes on making this. And if we make it big, this will be like a documentary on how we did it. If we don't, it'll just be 3 dudes talking to each other on a Discord.
And you'll be able to see how somebody made it or not made it, it'll be
another documentation of our failure.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of the two, but I'm having fun with it. So
yeah,
as long as we're having fun.
Anyway, outro bits. All of our social medias at Stuck on Internet on Twitter, at Stuck on Internet on Instagram, or just go to our website that I'm going to build and make really pretty. That's where everything is going to be. Everything. Our podcast. That's where everything you can find. That's the home for Stuck on the Internet content. It's going to be stuckontheinternet.com. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be the best website on the internet. I'm going to come for Elon.
Gross.
And both sexually and non-sexually.
Can I pitch another idea for Super Serious?
Got my dick stuck in a Tesla. What's your idea? Pitch it.
A Super Serious podcast about the 2003 film Cat in the Hat.
Absolutely, that was one of my favorite films. I would
seriously, yes. Oh fuck yeah!
I'm gonna put it on the dock right now.
Yes, I love that movie.
I love that movie so much. I love anything that has Mike Myers in it.
Perfect. Okay, good. This is gonna be great. You heard it here first. This is going to be the most successful internet company ever. Not really, but kinda. Good night.
No.
Good night.
Good night.